The Hook. Deep in the midnight zone, 7 miles below the surface, a metallic claw from a remote-operated vehicle brushes against a jagged, translucent mass. It looks like a discarded water bottle, but then it pulses. Tiny, vein-like structures of organic tissue are interwoven through the polyethylene polymer. As the camera zooms in, the object twitches and swims away, revealing a mouth made of microscopic serrated hooks designed to shred synthetic fibers. This is not debris. This is a predator. Introduction. The Mariana Trench has long been considered the most isolated place on Earth. It is a world of extreme pressure, absolute darkness, and freezing temperatures. For decades, humanity viewed it as a pristine frontier, untouched by the chaos of the surface world. However, recent expeditions have shattered this illusion. The deepest point on our planet is no longer a sanctuary of ancient life. Instead, it has become a massive collection point for the world's plastic waste. But more shocking than the presence of the trash itself is the discovery that life is beginning to adapt to it. A new category of biological entities has emerged in the silence of the abyss. These organisms, referred to as plastic eaters, represent a radical and disturbing shift in marine biology. They are the first generation of macroorganisms to evolve specifically to consume, inhabit, and thrive on the synthetic refuse of human civilization. The landscape of synthetic ruin. To understand how these entities came to be, one must understand the environment of the Hadal zone. At 11,000 meters deep, the pressure is equivalent to having an elephant stand on one's thumb. In this graveyard of the ocean, food is scarce. Most life relies on marine snow, which consists of organic detritus falling from the upper layers. But in the last 50 years, the composition of this snow has changed. Microplastics and chemical pollutants now rain down more consistently than organic matter. Over time, the trenches and valleys of the Mariana have filled with a thick sludge of decomposed polymers. This environment created an evolutionary bottleneck. Species that could not handle the toxicity perished, while those that could adapt found a massive, untapped energy source. The plastic eaters are the result of this extreme selective pressure. The biology of the mutants. The physical structure of these creatures is unlike anything seen in traditional biology. One of the most documented species resembles a translucent, elongated crustacean, but its shell is not made of calcium carbonate. Instead, it has developed a biological process to break down polyethylene and incorporate the carbon chains into its exoskeleton. This gives the creature a flexible, nearly indestructible armor that is immune to the corrosive effects of the deep sea. The digestive systems of these organisms are even more complex. They host specialized colonies of bacteria within their gut that secrete unique enzymes capable of dissolving high-density plastics. This is not a passive process. These creatures actively hunt for specific types of waste. Observers have noted that certain species prefer nylon fibers, while others congregate around heavy plastic containers. The metabolism of these entities is slow, fueled by the slow chemical breakdown of synthetic materials, allowing them to live for decades in the cold dark. The ecological impact. The emergence of plastic-eating life forms raises profound questions about the future of the oceans. At first glance, a creature that eats plastic might seem like a solution to the world's pollution crisis. However, the reality is far grimmer. These organisms are not removing the plastic from the environment. They are concentrating the toxins within the food chain. When these primary consumers are eaten by larger deep-sea predators, the concentrated chemical additives from the plastic are passed along, leading to high rates of mutation and reproductive failure in native species. Furthermore, the plastic eaters are highly aggressive in their search for material. They have been observed latching on to deep-sea cables and scientific equipment, attempting to consume the synthetic casings. This behavior suggests that as their population grows, they may begin to interfere with human technology in the deep ocean. The ecosystem of the Mariana Trench is being restructured. The ancient species that have lived there for millions of years are being pushed out by these new synthetic hybrids. The climax of discovery. The most terrifying discovery occurred during a late 2025 dive when a research team identified a colonial entity. It was a massive, pulsing carpet of grayish poo tissue that had completely engulfed a large pile of plastic debris. The entity did not have eyes or limbs. It was a singular, massive digestive surface. As the researchers watched, the entity began to ripple, vibrating at a frequency that could be felt through the hull of the submersible. It was not just eating, it was growing at an accelerated rate, fueled by a fresh influx of microplastics delivered by a deep-sea current. The team realized that this was not just an animal, it was a biological system that had reached the tipping point. The plastic eaters were no longer isolated anomalies, they were becoming the dominant form of life in the trench. The boundary between the natural world and the man-made world had completely dissolved. In the darkest corners of the earth, a new kingdom of life was rising, built entirely from the discarded remains of the world above. Conclusion. The existence of plastic-eating entities in the Mariana Trench is a testament to the terrifying resilience of life. Nature does not stop when it is poisoned. It changes, it adapts, it finds a way to use the poison to its advantage. These creatures are a mirror held up to human society, reflecting our waste and our impact back at us in a distorted biological form. As we continue to dump millions of tons of plastic into the oceans, we are providing the fuel for a new era of evolution. The creatures of the Mariana Trench are no longer the relics of a prehistoric past. They are the pioneers of a synthetic future. We must now confront the reality that the deep sea is no longer a world of natural wonder, but a laboratory where humanity has accidentally engineered a new and unpredictable form of existence. The abyss is watching, and it is hungry for more.